Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen is a timeless classic set in Regency-era England, following the lives of the Bennet family, particularly focusing on the protagonist, Elizabeth Bennet. The novel opens with the famous line, "It is a truth universally acknowledged, that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife," setting the tone for the themes of marriage, social class, and gender roles that permeate the narrative. The Bennet family consists of Mr. and Mrs. Bennet and their 5 daughters, Jane, Elizabeth, Mary, Kitty, and Lydia. Mrs. Bennet is eager to see her daughters married, as their estate is entailed away from the female line, meaning that they will lose their home and livelihood once Mr. Bennet passes away. Jane, the eldest and most beautiful of the Bennet sisters, catches the eye of Mr. Bingley, a wealthy and amiable young man who has recently moved into the neighbourhood. However, his friend, Mr. Darcy, a proud and aloof aristocrat, initially looks down upon the Bennet family and discourages Bingley from pursuing a relationship with Jane due to her lower social status. Meanwhile, Elizabeth Bennet is introduced to Mr. Darcy at a local ball, where he appears arrogant and dismissive. Elizabeth forms a negative opinion of him, reinforced by his interference in Jane's budding romance with Mr. Bingley. Despite this, Mr. Darcy finds himself increasingly drawn to Elizabeth's wit and intelligence, though he struggles to overcome his own prejudices against her lower social standing and her family's lack of refinement. As the story unfolds, misunderstandings and miscommunications abound, leading to various complications in the romantic entanglements of the characters. Mr. Darcy finds himself falling deeply in love with Elizabeth, despite his initial reservations, while Elizabeth begins to reassess her own feelings toward him. However, their pride and prejudices continue to create obstacles in their path to happiness. One of the most significant turning points in the novel occurs when Elizabeth visits Mr. Darcy's grand estate, Pemberley, and sees a different side of him. She witnesses his kindness towards his staff and tenants, as well as his genuine affection for his sister, Georgiana. This visit forces Elizabeth to re-evaluate her opinions of Mr. Darcy and acknowledge that she may have misjudged him. Meanwhile, Lydia Bennet's reckless behaviour threatens to bring shame upon the family when she elopes with Mr. Wickham, a charming but unscrupulous officer. Mr. Darcy intervenes to save the Bennet family's reputation by arranging a hasty marriage between Lydia and Mr. Wickham, thereby preventing a scandal that could have ruined Elizabeth's chances of marrying well. In the midst of these events, Mr. Bingley returns to the neighbourhood and renews his courtship of Jane, eventually proposing marriage to her, which she happily accepts. This serves as a contrast to the tumultuous relationship between Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy, who must overcome numerous obstacles, including their own pride and prejudice, before they can find happiness together. In the climax of the novel, Mr. Darcy declares his love for Elizabeth and proposes marriage, revealing his true feelings and acknowledging his past mistakes. Elizabeth, shocked and overwhelmed, initially rejects him, citing his interference in Jane's relationship with Mr. Bingley and his role in separating Mr. Wickham from his inheritance. However, Mr. Darcy provides explanations for his actions and convinces Elizabeth of the sincerity of his feelings. In the denouement, Elizabeth comes to recognize her own faults and prejudices, realizing that she has been too quick to judge others based on superficial appearances. She also learns the importance of looking beyond social status and wealth to find true love and happiness. Ultimately, Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy overcome their pride and prejudices, and the novel ends with their engagement, symbolizing a union not only of 2 individuals, but also of 2 different social classes and outlooks on life. Pride and Prejudice concludes with a sense of hope and optimism for the future, as the characters embark on their journeys towards personal growth and fulfillment.